Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Sarah's back from Dady Law. We are going to have another round of myth or fact. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Michelle. How are you
today?
Thanks
for doing it. You know, we're just talking before we started about how I wish I was going back to school because I love school. You're bringing me to school with myth or fact.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about learning new things this morning.
I like to learn. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
We're talking about immigration as usual. Okay. And the most common comments I get about immigration in the U.S. are questions about why don't people do it the right way? And we can't take so many people coming into the country. Sure. So I'd like to talk about those two statements today.
All right, you want to start with that or you want to start with the game?
Oh, let's do the game.
Okay, we'll start with the game. I like that idea too. Okay, as soon as we see the first question, okay, go ahead and read it, Sarah.
The U.S. is being overwhelmed by people coming to the southern border. Okay. Myth or fact?
Based on context clues of the fact that you want to discuss this today, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a myth.
Correct.
All right. So what's the real fact?
Okay, so I think what we need to understand about our country is that Customs and Border Protection is the largest federal agency in the United States. And they process 1.1 million people per day.
Wow.
At our ports of entries. So as you can see with people coming to the southern border, yes, it's increased exponentially in the last month, with about 200,000 people coming in or attempting to come in at our southern border in 1 month. That's not per day. And right now, Customs and Border Protection is processing about 650,000 people per day at our ports of entry, and that's down from 1.1 million due to COVID and less travel. So we can certainly handle processing an extra 200,000 people per month.
For sure. That's a good thing, right?
That is a good thing.
Just checking.
We should be very proud that we have these resources.
Okay, good. Okay, we have another myth or fact for me? Okay.
The U.S. can't handle more immigrants. I hear this all the time. Myth or fact?
I'm going to guess that this is also a myth.
You would be correct.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so, and you kind of explained it a little bit, right? It's lower right now than the rates previously were?
Well, you know, it never ceases to amaze me what a low opinion our fellow Americans have about our country. we are the world's only superpower, right?
Yeah.
We have the world's largest economy at $21 trillion in GDP per year. The next closest is China at $14 trillion GDP. We have a population of 333 million people in this country. 83% of our population lives on only 3% of our landmass. Wow. We have a lot of room in this country, and currently we have a labor shortage.
Yes.
And immigrants tend to fill jobs, and we tend to rely on immigrants to fill jobs in the restaurant industry and agriculture, which are exactly the two industries where we're suffering from a labor shortage. Now we have over 200,000 people at our southern border who would love the opportunity to come in and start working in those industries. So it seems like a very pragmatic solution. Math. We have a labor shortage. We have people at our border who want to work. It seems like Congress could do something to solve this problem and the solution.
Yeah, and that's, well, you're part of this because you help everybody who wants to get into this country figure out the right way to do it, right? Isn't that what you
Right, which is really hard. I mean, nobody should need a lawyer to immigrate to the U.S., right? Yeah. My ancestors didn't need a lawyer. So it tells you part of the problem we have with our immigration system is that people need lawyers. Now, there are a couple of bills pending before Congress which would help the U.S. One is the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, and that would allow people to apply for lawful status who are already living in the United States, who are fully integrated here. Another one is the Essential Workers Act, which would also allow people who are already living here and working to legalize their status. The third one is the DREAM Act, and that would be for young people who came in as children who are already living here. But the piece Congress is missing is a real worker visa program. If immigration isn't about keeping people out so much as having an orderly flow to
Sure.
people coming in. So the best solution is to allow people to apply for work visas outside the United States, be fingerprinted, background checked, pay an application fee, and be allowed to come in lawfully on a work visa. But that's entirely too common sense for Congress.
Well, maybe Sarah, maybe you can join them someday and help them out. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm sure you'll be back with more lessons sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Coming up next, I'm trying out Ult Therapy with Dr. Jen at Medical Grade Aesthetics, and then we're introducing you to this couple who found love at Wesley Willows. You're going to love them. We'll be back in just a second.
The preceding segment was sponsored by Dady Law Group, LLC,